Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now in today's video we will be previewing the game on Sunday against Liverpool, and why not bring a special guest on, a Liverpool fan. Thank you so much, Doug, for joining me today. How are you doing?
Yeah, well, apart from obviously my team doing really, really badly, I am doing very, very well. Thank you very much for the invite. And yeah, long time no see, because the last video I did with you was with Zani and yourself, and I think, if my memory serves me correctly, I think it was maybe lockdown that we managed to do it.
Yeah, it was such a long time ago, but I'm very, very excited to do this video. And I did want to start off by, talking about your season, talking about yesterday's game. You did get a point from that game. You drew Chelsea. Chelsea did have 2 goals that were offside, but do you see that point as like a positive point in the right direction? What were your thoughts on the game?
I mean, apart from being bored, apart from being bored watching that, yeah, just I think that's the worst we've played this season. Like, honestly, like passes were going astray. I've got to say as well, I Daniel as well. Hope you're good. That was the worst we've played this season by a long way. I don't know what is going on with us at the moment. Honestly, I think this season has been. I think to put into sort of context, I think we've had a season where I think everyone probably expected a bit of a drop off. I think everyone probably expected when you play every single game last season, and we managed to do that. 64 games. It's going to take a lot out of the players. I don't think we expected the sort of the drop off that we've actually had. But last night was honestly like he made 6 changes yesterday. And honestly, I thought it was. I thought it was good that he managed to, you rotate the squad a little bit. But every time that seems to happen, you just don't know what Liverpool's going to turn up. And we've managed to get 1 point from these 3 games. I even said that we had to take maximum points off Chelsea, and obviously yourselves on Sunday. But the way I look at it, if we lose on Sunday, I've even said top 4's over. I think it probably will be. I was very disappointed last night. I was just watching it in the good of my own home on the sofa, and that's 95 minutes of my life I'm now going to get back, because both sides have dropped off dramatically. Chelsea and Liverpool.
Yeah, I did watch that game. I thought it was quite boring. I don't know if Liverpool was saving like the better players for the game on Sunday. I don't know. I think it was quite a boring game. I don't think Liverpool really offered much. They did have obviously a few shots before the first half ended, which were good, but we didn't really see a lot of that. And obviously the season hasn't been the same as last season. You were quite close with Man City and 1 point, I think, of the league. So why do you think like this season has gone so wrong? Like, for me, like I know people might say Klopp out, or do you think it's down to like the owners, the manager, the players, or would you say it's like a combination of things?
I think if you said to any Liverpool fan that you'd be like 8th at this moment in time, I don't think anyone would have expected us to be 8th. But the thing is, I think it's a combination of things. I think Klopp's too stubborn in his tactics. He hasn't changed his tactics. I don't think we've changed the way we played as well. I mean, last night there was a lot of talk that we were actually trying to play sort of the way we were playing 3 years ago. I could kind of see that. But, when we were sort of, breaking away and, going through Chelsea. But Chelsea went through our midfield really, really easily yesterday. And, we were lucky. I'll be honest. We were very, very lucky to draw 0-0 yesterday, because I know Chelsea had 2 goals ruled out. And obviously the Havertz one is definitely a handball. I don't think Chelsea fans can have any complaints with that. The first one, I mean, I could see it was offside. I could see it was like offside from obviously watching it. But that took about 3-4 minutes. But we didn't strengthen in the midfield in the summer. I think that's a big factor. We really need to strengthen in midfield this summer. But with obviously not having Champions League football, it might sort of deter the players we might actually manage to get. I mean, there are a lot of players that are going to be leaving. Ox is going, Keita's going. It's disappointing to say the very, very least. But when I look at this season as a whole, it's a lot of combination of things. I just think our away form is absolutely horrendous. 3 wins away from home all season is absolutely horrendous. And then when you look at our home form, I think we've got the third best home record. But I've got to say, when I look at the away records, Arsenal are number 1. So I am looking into this game thinking that I'm not looking forward to the game on Sunday. I've got to say, I'm not confident in anything. Stretch of my imagination. It's just been a season where it's just everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. But you know what? I think next season will be very, very interesting. I'm not so sure. I know, Daniel, your away record against the top 6 is absolutely horrendous. And I know that for a fact. Anyway, so yes, we can definitely recollect about that. But I look at this season as a whole, and it's just been an absolute car crash from start to finish.
Yeah, I did want to talk about this comment and watched the game last night. That's the worst 90 minutes I've watched of my life. Chelsea did everything right, but they lack in the final third and end product. Yeah, I thought with Chelsea, like, they had so many chances. Like, they should have won that, but that was their own fault for not taking them. Obviously with Liverpool, it's just not been a good season for them. Obviously Mane left. Nunes came in. I think Mane was a big part of Liverpool and their success, and obviously Nunes has came in. I think he scored some good goals, but I don't think he's been as consistent. But like, you watch Liverpool more than me. What have you made of Nunes' season? And do you think he's adapted quite quickly into the Premier League, or do you think it's taken him a bit of time?
Well, the first thing is to get sent off in your Premier League debut at Anfield is not the best to sort of introduce yourself. But actually, I think he has taken time to settle in. I still think 12 goals is a good return. I've got to say, but I think he's raw. He's young. I think he'll have a better second season. I can see him being. I don't think he's that kind of striker that will score goals in like every single game. He's probably one of those players that needs to, snatch at chances a lot. I think. But actually, I think the money we paid for him, I think he has been good. He has been good. He has scored a few goals this season, and I can honestly say that I think, give him time, I think he will be a very, very good striker. People are saying they remind him of sort of like a Werner. Like, he obviously snatched at chances, scored in games as well. But I think Nunes, he is only 22. I think people need to remember that he's only 22, and I think he's still got a lot to show. He isn't the finished article by any means. So I do think that next season will be about big season. But I said at the start of the season, if he can get anywhere between 15 to 20 goals in all comps, I think that's a very good season. The only thing is, he has been compared with Haaland, and we all know what Haaland has done for Manchester City. But no, I think Nunes has settled into the team very, very well. I think as well, he's more of a left winger. I don't think he is a number 9 for me. He does like to drift out left. So that could be an interesting battle on Sunday. Him against Ben White potentially.
Yeah, definitely. I do think some players have probably improved for Liverpool, and I think he probably needs a bit of time, and it just hasn't really been your season. And I think, like you said, you probably will be getting rid of a few players in the summer, and maybe hopefully, improving next season. Even though it's been a hard season for you, talking on some positives, do you think, what would you say your most improved player is this season? Because I know you do have a few good players. Would you say what a few players for you have improved in this team this season?
I think one of the ones that I've been very, very impressed with is Bajcetic. He's
Mhm.
obviously injured at the moment, but he's been really, really good since he's came in as well. Hello, Jade. Um, I do think that Bajcetic has been very, very good. Um, Undoubtedly, our player of the season is Allison. You know, without Allison, we'd probably be low half of the Premier League right now. We on it's. I think I saw a stat actually. If it wasn't for Allison, I think Liverpool would be 16th. So just goes to show that how much Allison has been very, very good. Other player, I mean, Elliot has had sort of bits and spells where he has looked good. Konate, I think he has been good. I think he has had some games. I don't think anyone's really been up to what we would expect. Gakpo's taking a bit of time to settle in, but he's starting to get goals as well. But yeah, for me, the main ones for me, Alisson's been our player of the season, and I would definitely say Stefan Bajcetic, who unfortunately is injured at the moment, and obviously as well, Luis Diaz. We've missed him for about 6 months this season as well. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually makes a return against Arsenal on Sunday. I personally don't want to see him. I don't want to see him return because I still think he has a lot to recover from. So I'll say that Diaz for me. He got injured in that game, obviously against Arsenal. So I do want him to. I don't want him rushed back
Mm.
because I feel there's quite a couple of times last season we were rushing players back and they aggravated another injury, and then that was them for the season. So for me, Bajcetic, Elliot, and Patches. Salah still got 24 goals this season. I think many people have said yes, it's not been quite the season Mo Salah's had, but 24 goals in all comps is still a very, very good return.
Yeah, I think Mo Salah's not really gotten a lot of praise or credit this season, really, because of obviously Liverpool's season and how low they've fallen, and obviously not being in the top four. He hasn't really
Yeah,
got that praise, and I think going to this game, I do feel worried to play against him because obviously with Arsenal, I don't know if Rob Holding is playing. I think it's been rumoured that it would be him playing, and I just think Mo Salah is so fast. He's just such a great striker, player, and I just think if Rob Holding is against him and he makes a mistake, I do worry. So I do think going into the game, Liverpool. I don't write this game off thinking we're going to win this. We're going to thrash you. Obviously, you've not had the best form recently.
yeah,
Probably low on confidence, but I just think this game I can't predict it. I'm sat here now and I'm thinking I just don't know how it's going to go because you have rested some players, and I think it'll be a difficult game, especially the atmosphere at the game at Anfield. The atmosphere is really good, and that can probably might off-put the Arsenal players a bit. But we'll just have to see. Before we do talk about the game, I did want to talk about sort of players that you think you'd like to see Liverpool bring in the summer. I know for me, I feel like you've had the same midfield for about 5 years. Talking on changes you'd like to see next season, what would you say about that?
Well, I'm going to ban the words Jude Bellingham because literally everywhere you see Liverpool journalists have started doing it. They think, oh, yeah, Jude Bellingham's going to be a Liverpool player. I mean, obviously, he would be obviously the sort of the main one to bring in. For me, though, younger players. I think Kefren Turam from Rennes would be a very, very good signing. I think he's been very, very good in the French league. Mateus Nunes would be another one as well. I know we need, I still think we need 2 to 3, 4 midfielders at least, but I do think we need a right back because Trent Alexander-Arnold is somebody who has been very, very much in the spotlight for not playing very well recently. And I have to say, I do think that we need a right back cover because we bought Calvin Ramsey in the summer there, and he's been injured. He's been injured a lot. So for me, a right back, 2-3 midfielders. I'd even say a goalkeeper as well, like a backup goalkeeper, because Kelleher's going to be leaving in the summer if rumours are to be persisted as well. So I would say goalkeeper, right back, and then 2, 3, 4 midfielders, because I think we're stacked up front. I think we're stacked for like places on up front as well. Only thing is as well, right wing. I think we need right wingers to sort of be Salah's sort of understudy. I don't think we have that yet. So, but whether or not we get these players is another matter, because we all know what FSG are like. They are very, very. I would say they're good owners. They're not nothing like the Glazers. Let me just say that. But I do think that we need 3, 4, maybe 5 players. I think next season is going to be very, very interesting, to say the very least.
Yeah, I definitely think Liverpool need to strengthen by new players, because I do think, like you said, with Núñez, obviously Salah's at the team. You've got Diaz. You do have a lot of good players. I just think probably in the midfield, adding a bit of competition, like with the right back situation, with a goalkeeper. Like for me, like with Tierney, you've seen Zinchenko's came in. He has sort of challenged Tierney, and Tierney's like doing better. Like, I think getting challenged will test you as a player, because if you want to be in the team, you're still seeing Tierney being consistent for his country, for his team. So I definitely think that'll be good for Liverpool. I did want to ask you this question. Someone just asked, why hasn't Gakpo been playing recently? Is he injured or rested or being wrapped up in cotton wool? Do you know why?
Just rotated, to be honest. Gakpo hasn't been injured. He had a virus, I think, before the Netherlands-France game, where obviously Netherlands lost by 4-0. Yeah, just rotated. Just rotated. I think he'll be a one that probably starts at the weekend. I think Jota didn't really make up much of his opportunity yesterday. Firmino was another one that didn't really make much of his opportunity as well. So I do think Gakpo will come straight back in on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. I did want to sort of go on now to talk about Arsenal season, and I did want to get your thoughts, because I think us Arsenal fans, like, I wouldn't say I'm biased, but I just think Arsenal fans can be, we're so in our own bubble. We're so happy with how things are. I did want to ask you, obviously, last time we actually did this, Arsenal were in a completely different position. We were struggling, but now things have moved on. What are your thoughts on Arsenal's season, and what have you kind of made of the job that Arteta's doing?
I think you've been absolutely fabulous this season. There's only one sort of blot on the sort of the schedule. There's obviously Manchester United away from home, but away from home, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. And yes, I know you've still got like games against Newcastle and obviously Manchester City to come up, but I genuinely feel you're going to do it. I genuinely feel you're going to do it. Now, the reason I say that, you are not in any other competition now, so you can obviously focus on the league. Man City have still got the FA Cup. They've still got the Champions League. So, again, some of their games are going to be sort of, scheduled as well. I think the pressure's on Manchester City, because, you look at what you guys have done this season. Away from home, you've been fabulous. As I said, the only defeat was obviously was Old Trafford. But at home, you've been brilliant as well. I just think you remind me a lot of our 13-14 side. When we were sort of just starting to get into being a very, very good team. Arteta's had 2-3 years now. I watched All for Nothing, and I have to say, there was a lot said about Arteta as a man manager. I think he's been fabulous. I think he's taken a lot of these players and he's really, really improved them. Ben White, I never thought he'd be a right back, but he's been great. Granit Xhaka is a completely different player. For me, one of the most improved players this season. Odegaard, he's a leader. He has been very, very, very good this season. Martinelli has gone on song. I've got to say, there's only one man when you talk about Arsenal who's really, really done really well, Bukayo Saka. Oh my goodness me, what a player he has been this season. And you know what? Loads of people, if you play fantasy football, you probably have Saka in your team. He has been fabulous. I just think Arsenal to a T this season, there is a never die attitude. There is always a chance to get. I remember the Villa away game. I remember when that was 2-2 for a number of minutes it was as well. When Jorginho hits that shot, obviously goes off at Martinez. I thought that is champions in waiting, because you haven't played well, but you've still managed to get the result. I just feel this weekend is your biggest test to see, because we all know about the record at Anfield. It's not the best. As I said, 2012 was the last time you guys actually, beat us in the league. Podolski and Cazorla, I think, from memory.
Yeah, I think
so I genuinely feel this could be your year. Basically, all you have to do is basically just focus on yourselves. Don't focus on what Manchester City do. And look, they've got Southampton on Saturday. They came up a cropper in the League Cup. They could easily come up a cropper in the league. I don't think the league is far from over anyway. But 8 points is a very, very good lead to have at this stage in the season. It's all about your games, like away at Newcastle, away at City. But I think City have to win every single game remaining. I think Arsenal could easily afford a point at the Etihad. I actually even think Arsenal could probably afford maybe a narrow defeat at the Etihad. It's all about your home games as well. But I mean, Harry asked, do I think Arsenal could win the Manchester City game? Yeah, I think you could. I think you could. I think if you keep it tight, I think you could. Leeds, you blew away the other day. As well, I've been very impressed with Arsenal this season, and I know there's a lot of people saying, well, they keep doubting you. Like there's loads of pundits that are like keeping doubting this Arsenal side. We're into April. We're in the very, very busy period now. We're almost in the sort of the wee run in towards the end of the season. But if I was a betting man, which I'm obviously not, at this moment in time, I think I would have Arsenal to win the league, because I just think City are capable of going on a good run, but I'm not sure they can do it this time. I don't think their squad is as good as enough. But when I look at Arsenal, and when I look at obviously Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, some very, very good players, I just feel those two signings could potentially be the difference between winning the league.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think, like, going into the season, I did not think we would be challenging for the title. Like, when we started to do that, I was really surprised. And yeah, I think since the World Cup, we've kept it up. Like, with Jesus out injured, that was a big blow for us, and I was worried. And obviously, Eddie did the job for a while, and we've had like Saka and Martinelli helping, and obviously Trossard has came in, and I just think he's done really well. I think he's adapted amazingly. And yeah, listen, for me, I'm taking it a game at a time. Like, I don't think right now we'll definitely win the league. I think we're in a better position than Man City. I think we've got great potential, but I do understand we have difficult games. Like, obviously with Newcastle, they're trying to get top four and they'll put everything in that game. And yeah, I think a lot of pundits are saying that if we don't win against Liverpool, Anfield, that'll be us. But I don't think it will. I think it won't be good for us to lose, but I just think it's not over till it's over. And I do think Man City will drop points along the way, because they have been quite inconsistent this season. So I just see Arsenal dropping points as well as City dropping points. But I do think we can get a result away at the Etihad, because I just think with the players we have, I think last time we played them, a lot of their goals was down to our individual mistakes, and I think we would have learnt from last time because obviously the Tomiyasu's, and I can't remember who played in that game, but he did make that mistake, and I think this time round we could get something from Man City, but yeah, I think going to Anfield, I think that'll be a big test for us. I think we should win it because of how Liverpool's form has been, but I just think, because it's at Anfield, I mean, our away form is actually quite good and we do seem to do well away, but I always think Anfield, when we go to Anfield, that's a really difficult fixture. I think it's always a high-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be easy. I do think both teams will probably concede quite a few goals, and yeah, I just think it's difficult. Now, going into the game, obviously Arsenal, they've got more squad depth now. Obviously, we brought Trossard in. We've got Martinelli, Saka, obviously the midfield. Going into this game, which Arsenal players are you sort of worried about playing against? Because I know we have obviously strengthened and we do have quite a few good players. So which players are you kind of nervous to play against?
Saka. I think him against Robertson is going to be a very interesting battle. Odegaard, I think Odegaard's been a fabulous player. Sad about Saliba, I've got to say. However, I do think that Rob Holding is a big game for him. But yeah, I mean, you just said it there. Anfield. I'd even say Merseyside for Arsenal. You seem to struggle at Goodison Park.
Yeah.
You seem to struggle at Anfield. So maybe it's just Merseyside. Maybe it's just somewhere that obviously Arsenal can struggle against. But the thing is, the 7-0 against Manchester United was it's going to be our best result. Let me just say that. But I am very. I mean, Gabriel Jesus always scores against Liverpool. I'll just say that now. He always scores against us, so expect him to probably score at Anfield. Martinelli. I think Martinelli has gone leaps and bounds this season. Trossard loves a goal against Liverpool. Scored a hat-trick for Brighton earlier this season as well. So, Xhaka, Arsenal are a very, very good side this season. Interested to see who will obviously be left back. I would imagine it'll probably be Zinchenko. But then again, you've obviously got Kieran Tierney, so he has. This is the thing for Arteta. He has a lot of options to make. He's got a lot of decisions to make for this game. But obviously, the usual ones: Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, Xhaka, Odegaard. I'd even say Thomas Partey, because Thomas Partey does like a long shot. I think he scored against Manchester United. I think, but no, it was Spurs. Sorry, it was Spurs that he scored against. I remember that goal. Actually, I was doing that game as a watch-along. I remember doing Arsenal Tottenham as a watch-along. I remember that Partey goal, and I was like, whoa. So he does like the spectacular. So I think you've got a very, very good squad. I think you've got a lot of good players coming off the bench as well. So we're going to have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, I definitely think we've improved this season. I think it will. I've said this. It'll be a difficult one as you've rested a few players. I probably expect Mo Salah to play. But I did want to ask you about the lineup for you guys. What lineup do you see Klopp playing?
Well, I don't think many people played last night will probably play tomorrow. On Sunday, sorry. Ali in goal. Ali will definitely play in goal. Does Trent come back in? Because I actually thought Gomez actually played all right. I thought he played okay on last night. I'll go Trent. I'll go Gomez. Do you know what? I think Trent comes back in. I'm going to go Ali, Trent, Kanate. I think Van Dijk will come back in. He missed the game with I think it's a virus. I think he was. Robertson will come back in. There's a case in the midfield. I think Fabinho will start. I think Henderson will start. And I've got a feeling he'll probably go with Harvey Elliott, and then I think it'll be Gakpo, Nunes, Gakpo, and Salah. That's my team for Sunday.
Yeah, I definitely see you making a lot of changes, especially, from last night. I do think a lot of those players that are playing probably won't play. I do think Klopp's probably saved a lot of players for this game. I just think it's a big game. I guess you're at home as well, and you'll have the fans there, which is probably a lot of confidence for you guys. I think for Arsenal, obviously, depending on Saliba, I just see Holden playing probably. Like, I don't know if it's more of a mind game, like Arsenal not telling anyone right now. I don't know if that's trying to trick Liverpool or not, because I just don't get how you would know right now. It's nowhere near Sunday yet. I just think I don't really. I think that news, I still am not sure, but if Rob Holding does play, I think he's done good in his last few games, but I know he does have that red card in him, that mistake in him. So I'm a bit let me just read this. The midfield battle will be interesting. Arsenal start games with high energy in Liverpool having got the legs. Yeah. I think for Arsenal, we do really start games well. I mean, against Leeds, it took us about 30 minutes to really get in the game, and maybe that was down to the international break and getting into the rhythm of things again. But yeah, it's hard for me to predict the front three because it has been a bit different. Obviously, Saka got the rest, and I don't think he was well, but I think if Saka's fit and okay, I think he'll play. Yeah. I think Jesus will probably play as well. I think Arteta does like to play Trossard, but I don't know. I think for me right now, because of the squad we have, I feel confident with whoever Arteta will play, and obviously Odegaard in that midfield with Partey and Xhaka. I just think, we're doing really good in midfield, and I don't think it will be like the old times. I don't see us making that many mistakes like we have against Liverpool in the past, but do you reckon, the atmosphere at Anfield? I know we have heard Arsenal fans that when I've been watching Arsenal games on the TV, I have heard Arsenal fans chant really loudly, and you can hear it even when we're away. But do you think, say one of our games we did play, it was 0-0 until the 40th minute. I think Arteta went over the Klopp, and that got the Anfield crowd all up. So I think that was a big mistake. But do you think something like that could, make it more difficult for Arsenal to win?
Yeah, I mean the one thing I think you ought to do when you go to these kind of grounds is obviously silence the crowd as well. But yeah, that game in particular, I do think that I mean, there was a big moment in that game where I think I think Arteta kind of, I wouldn't say lost it, but I think he. I think he lost his sort of his head. I think the occasion did get him, but never did I think it was before 4-0. Never did I think it was before 4-0 last season. But no, I think Liverpool against Arsenal, especially at Anfield, they're very high scoring games, and I just have a feeling that sort of the opposite could happen on Sunday. I think it'll be a very tight game. Even we have looked good at home, but the problem is though that we're not in very good form at this moment in time. We're very inconsistent. I think it's very, very safe to say that. But I think if you silence the crowd for 15, 20 minutes, then that'll get you on a high. Early goal will be obviously nice for you guys. I just feel this season we do take a bit of time to get going. And yes, the last time we did lose was against Leeds. As well, Van Dijk is available. He will be available for the game. But again, he's not been great. He's not been great recently. So I think you silence the crowd. Getting an early goal would be very, very good. But I don't think you're sort of beatable now, especially away from home. So I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game on Sunday. Obviously, you will obviously know the result of Southampton Manchester City before you play us. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it because, as I said, I do still think this is your biggest test by a long, long way. And then obviously with City and Newcastle to come up as well. But you passed the Tottenham test. You passed that with flying colours. You won 2-0 there. I remember that game very, very well. So, you know what? I know Liverpool isn't the best of places for Arsenal to go to, but Arsenal will be in a lot of confidence, and especially after the 4-1 win against Leeds as well. The confidence will be high in the Arsenal camp.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've won our last 7 games in the Premier League. I think so. Yeah. I do think that gives the team confidence. I do think though the team aren't getting carried away. You know, I watch interviews and it seems like the players are very focused on what they're doing, you know, not what Man City are doing. That's what I think we should do. Like, it's obviously difficult. Man City are quite close behind us. Yes, we've got like an 8-point gap, but if we lose to them and we lose Anfield, then that really closes. So I just think, you know, taking it a game at a time, not getting carried away is the way forward, because I know I've seen Arsenal fans like thinking we're going to thrash Liverpool. And I just think going to Anfield is a difficult game. And I think people should respect Liverpool a bit more because they do have really good players. They've got Mo Salah. And, you know, your goalkeeper's really amazing. And I've always liked that. And I think he's really helped you this season. So I just think, you know, not going into the game like it's going to be an easy game. I do think it'll be quite high scoring. I did want to ask you about your score predictions on the game.
I genuinely think you win this. I genuinely do. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal. I think that was the last. Obviously, the last game you beat us by was obviously 2-0 in 2012. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1. I think we'll probably score first, but I think you'll probably go on and win. So yeah, 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I do think it will be quite a competitive game because I always think the game against Liverpool are always competitive, and having not won there since, you know, what was it, 2012, I think there's that, and I think as Arsenal you want to beat that record thing and just move on from that. I think I feel more comfortable when Arsenal at home because of the fans. It gives me a bit more confidence. So I think because we're away, like you said, when we go to Goodison Park, we just can't win. We just don't seem to do well. But I do think we will do well. I think it will be 2-1 Arsenal. I do agree with you. I do think Mo Salah will score for Liverpool. I think depending on Arsenal's lineup, I'd probably say like Saka or Martinelli or Trossard perhaps, but I know you said Jesus loves a goal against Liverpool, but I just think going into the game, and like Lee said, Liverpool just played yesterday, and if you are going to play there's some players you played, you know, yesterday, they'll be a bit laggy. So I do think it's going to be difficult. I think, like Gary Neville has said, if Arsenal can beat Liverpool Anfield, he does think we'll win the league. I mean, I don't personally massively agree with that statement. I just think we could lose to Man City at the Etihad. So I just think this game is important and it will really be a big test, like you said. But I just think we have really big tests, obviously, Chelsea is a bit of a weird one, really, because I think we should win that, and I do feel confident we will. But sometimes when people get rid of a manager, things change at the club. So yeah, it's gonna be hard. But let me know in the comments what your score prediction is. I'm going 2-1, but I just think Mo Salah is going to have a good game. And I've seen on Twitter actually people saying like they think Liverpool will play like prime Barcelona, and it wouldn't surprise me because you always do play really well at Anfield, and I'm just hoping that isn't the case. But yeah, guys, thank you so much, Doug, for coming on my channel.
Absolute pleasure. No, absolute pleasure. It's been a long time since I've actually done a video with you, so I'm very very happy to find the time and do one with you. So no, thank you very much for having me, and I hope you have a very good holiday. Because I know that we obviously trying to sort of schedule this. I know that you were going on holiday, so I really hope you have a good holiday, and thank you very much for having me. And guys, please do subscribe to Sophie, Gonna Gossip TV. Doing some fantastic content at the moment, and please do give her your support. So thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you're so kind, Doug, and I feel the same for you. Like, I love your videos, I love your collabs that you do, and I definitely think you deserve more credit. So, can you tell people the name of your channel again, just so before you go?
Yeah, sure. It's the Dugout Football Channel on YouTube. I am a basic football channel, but I'm trying to sort of grow as well. I'm just checking. I have actually got a show in about 19 minutes in time. I'm doing a Liverpool Arsenal preview, so if you all come and check that out, then please do. I would appreciate it. But yeah, the Dugout Football Channel on YouTube.
Yeah, check his channel and his live stream. I'm sure you'll do amazing, and I hope you enjoy the game. It'll definitely be an exciting one. But thank you all so much for joining me and Doug. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you can, please smash the like button and subscribe. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all very soon. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your evening. And yeah, thanks again, Doug, for coming on.
Bye.
See you all soon. Bye.